And now you can see the Backseat Mogul Show in all its video glory on our YouTube page at roughedge.tv. It's tiki time at Harbor Cove Cafe. Dive into the tropical paradise at the end of Spinnaker Drive in Ventura with vibrant drinks, delicious bites, award-winning fish and chips, and more. Now featuring extended hours and great happy hour specials. Harbor Cove Cafe, the hidden treasure at the end of Spinnaker Drive. Visit harborcovecafe.net for more information.
Showbiz is a cruel and shallow money trench, a long plastic hallway where thieves and pimps run free and good men die like dogs for no good reason. There's also a bad side.
This is the Backseat Mogul Show, live here on Rough Edge FM. I am R. Scott Bolton. I am the Backseat Mogul, and this is a show where we talk about show business. Johnny, who apparently we can't get shut up to shut up today, is sitting right there. We'll talk to you later about his porn collection. Right next to Johnny, we got Jeffrey Genet.
Hello.
And also today we got a special guest, Josh Bolton, in the house.
Good morning, everyone.
And so, anyway, we're all here. We're all going to talk about stuff. We not all of us saw a lot of movies this week. I was in Palm Springs. Jeff was very busy. John was. Nothing. So we're gonna get to those things, though. We do have some things to talk about. I want to talk about the Jaws exhibit because I went down and checked that out, and it was pretty awesome. Also, we're going to talk about film ratios because I got an interesting lesson this weekend on film ratios, which is one of the things that just sticks in my craw. You go see something in the wrong ratio, I can't stand it. I bought a copy of Cabaret. 8 Academy Awards that movie won. It's supposed to be this terrific movie, right? I plug in the DVD. I get this little box in the middle of the screen, black all the way around it. Well, the hell's that? So I look it up, and apparently it's a miscalculated DVD format. And you can't really fix it with your machines. You have to recode it to get it to work properly in the screen. Thanks for things like a Handbrake, I was able to go and recode it. But it's aggravating because I've got a screen, I've got an image here that's got about that many ratios on it. But I will tell you, there are dozens more. And it's interesting because a lot of times the projectionists get letters from filmmakers saying, this is the way to project my film. And not only do they have their ratio, which might be a personal ratio, Kubrick was famous for that, but it would also be the lighting difference and all this other stuff. Did you guys ever see letters like that come through when you were?
No, but I did learn some interesting stuff. A lot of times the aspect ratio is supposed to be controlled by the projectionist, obviously, but I've read discourse online where that sometimes when you see the boom mic, that's supposed to be cut off by the aspect ratio.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a mistake in filming. It's supposed to be cut off. So I never knew that until I started researching it. And because we got complaints about it, it's like, well, that's just an editing error. And then I was going on projection forums online. They're like, no, you need to be framing it properly to.
So it's supposed to be matted so it doesn't show. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I never realized that. I didn't know that. We only had 2 aspect ratios at the theater I worked at, but
were those the typical aspect ratios? Were they
flat and scope? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we might have had 1 Academy.
Well, what's happening now is people are buying. Well, let's go back to the beginning.
Scope one right here.
Oh, that's cool.
A scope aspect ratio. Oh, there you go.
Where'd you guys get those? The theater?
Yeah.
Oh,
we got rid of we switched to digital instead of film. I was like, well, might as well grab some.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't got one.
Yeah, I don't either.
I have a question. Was that when you guys were actually all 3 of you? Was that I know you? Was that with film or was that digital?
We did film for the 4 years I was there. 4 of the 5 years I was there, I think.
But with this aspect ratio thing, was that?
It's been forever.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
The digital projectors you just select.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was only. I think they got rid of them 3 months after I started working there, something like that.
Yeah.
The film projectors. So I only ever got to do 2 movies under the table.
This is the story about how this is coming back into the limelight right now. And what's happening is, I'm checking something here real quick. Okay, we're good. Back in the early days of VHS, people were buying these tapes and watching these movies, but the ends were cut off because TV screens were typically square then. And so you'd have a full screen movie, but you could only show the middle of the film. And people complained. So they said, okay, we came up with this letterbox format. Letterbox format has got 2 black bars on the top and the bottom, but you can at least get the entire screen. People complained. I remember one guy literally told me the cliche. I paid for that screen. I want every bit of it being used. Whatever. So I said, okay, we'll come up with something different. So they came up with Pan and Scan. Now, Pan and Scan was the worst of the bunch because Pan and Scan used a machine to track characters, and it would track them from one side of the screen to the other. It would follow them and leave everything else off. So it was actually a moving format, but it was a terrible format because it changed camera motion. It was just awful. And people complained about that. DVDs came around, and about the time DVDs came around, people were still complaining about the black bars, but then the rectangular TVs came out. And all of a sudden, the black bars aren't as prevalent as they are. They're still there. You show a film on Cinerama or something like that, you're going to get black bars because your TV is not that wide. But it's not as prevalent. And also, I think people finally understood, look, I'm going to see the entire image. I'm going to see the whole film. So that has come and gone. Now here's the latest one. IMAX is the new thing that everybody's striving for. Everybody wants IMAX. Now people are complaining because there's black bars on the left and the right of their screen because IMAX is basically a square format. So if you don't know what we're talking about, that's basically your TV size, but it's the image screen that you see on a movie screen as well. Back in the old days, it was 1:1 or 4:3, basically square. Those are like your 1950s movies, 1940 movies, and they were fine for television, even when they had the square screens because they were square images. Watch them on a widescreen, you're going to have, if it's done right, you're going to have black on both sides. The thing that's happening now is they got these new IMAX versions that they're releasing on these discs, and IMAX is square almost. It's a little off. It's 1.43 to 1. So it's a little more than square, but you got black bars, and people say, I don't want the black bars. I want to see the entire image. Well, guess what? You are seeing the entire image. That's all that the camera picked up. There's also, you can see the 70 millimeter film ratio is very wide. HD TV is very wide. The cinema standard is 1.85. The cinematic screen, which is that big long screen, is 2.39 to 1 or 21 to 9. And then there's DCI 4, which I don't know what it is. And the Academy ratio, which is one that's 1.375 to 1. And looking at this screen, you may not realize the differences there. But who amongst us at this table wants to see something that the director wanted you to see? We all do, right? I want to see that director's vision. I don't want to see some guy with a pan and scan machine punching buttons to follow Brody from one side to the other, which is the initial tapes of Jaws. If you look at the pan and scans of Jaws, oh my God, they're horrible.
Oh, question on all those different formats up there, if you're going to be buying a DVD, whether it's a regular DVD or a Blu-ray, see, I don't mention VHS because
not a disc.
Exactly. Which one of those formats would you prefer? If you're looking at the back of a DVD or a Blu-ray,
there is a word for it that has just escaped my mind. What do they call it when it changes? So it always maintains the same ratio no matter what screen it's on. There's a word for that you use. It's widescreen. Almost had it.
Yeah.
Let me think about that and come back. But you want whatever image the director intended you to watch. That's the image you want to see. So if you're watching a wide, and that's why I gave you that Sicilian disc last week, because I didn't know it was edited to fit the screen. I don't want that. I want the full image that the director wanted me to see. So I don't care about black on top and bottom. I want the image to be correct. And it's not if you've blown it up to fill the screen.
The reason I bring it up, because sometimes I'll look at the back of a DVD and it'll either say widescreen or full screen.
You want widescreen anamorphic. Anamorphic was the word I was looking for. Anamorphic keeps the ratio the same.
Widescreen anamorphic.
Yes.
Not what if it just says widescreen? Is that acceptable?
It's usually okay.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't want pan and scan. You don't want full screen. And I don't. I mean, some of you may have your preference. Some of you might want to use every single picture, part of that screen that you paid for. But you're not getting the experience that the director wanted you to have.
And to be quite honest, I can't remember the last time I saw letterbox on the back of a.
Letterboxd was the first iteration of it, and it's still out there. I mean, Letterboxd is one of the biggest apps out there for movies these days. Not that it has anything to do with screen ratio, but it is a phrase that's used. But they've steered away from that towards the anamorphic widescreen. Anyway,
there's an interesting campaign recently about the Simpsons format on Disney Plus because it was cutting off because it was formatted for the old square TV, CRT TVs.
Yeah.
And so the rectangular TVs were cutting off substantial portions of the scenes and jokes. Like there's certain jokes you wouldn't get if you could see it. And so there was actually an online campaign for Disney to reformat, and they did. So
they did.
Yeah. So that was successful.
So now you're seeing the full widescreen of the Simpsons?
It's not the full widescreen. It's how it's supposed to be presented.
Oh, so it's the original.
Yes, the original aspect. Yeah,
Gotcha.
not formatted for the rectangular TVs.
Because that's another issue.
Yeah.
Things that were made for the square TV should be black bars.
Yeah.
And that's, you don't want the extra stuff. And the thing I think is interesting about IMAX is extra footage, extra images on top and bottom, not wide like Cinerama Dome or something like that. So that's different too. It's just a fascinating thing. And I was talking to these guys earlier about certain directors, most notably Stanley Kubrick, who used whatever ratio he decided to use just to mess with people, I think sometimes. And others, most recently, Christopher Nolan send letters out to the projectionists saying, please project my movie this way. It's this exact ratio. It's this exact brightness. It's exact this. And they're trying to get the best image they can. You know what I want to do? I want to visit the projection booth at the theater at the Collection, because they have this new trailer where they say there's not a magic man in the booth, but there is a technician, and there's just walls of computers in there. I want to see if those computers are really there. You guys didn't have walls of computers, did you?
No, I think a lot of
you have one computer screen, or
I think a lot of places now have a central server kind of area where they just upload everything, and it's I don't think they work on the individual projectors aside from certain things. But I know in the downtown theater they did it all from the office.
Mm-hmm.
They programmed everything. They didn't even have to go upstairs.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, when I went to when we were shooting first run at the Camarillo Theater,
Roxy.
The Roxy, they had we used one of the projectors for one of the scenes, and it was kind of like Regency. He just went up to the thing, he hit the buttons on the side because there's a screen on the side of the projectors,
right? And
that's how you activate it and stuff. And then they had the DCP boxes lying around and stuff. So I think I guess the smaller theaters, it is still the older ways like it was at Regency, where you have to upload the DCP and everything and all that. But I don't know about all the new stuff. And that'd be kind of interesting if they let you up there.
Yeah, I'd love to go tour it. So maybe I can work something out for we can do it as a part of the show here.
You remember that little theater
Yeah.
in Westlake Village that Bert used to go to all the time?
Yeah.
Be interesting to see if it's still around, what they have done, because that was a little mom and pop theater.
Yeah, it might still be. I know they're still delivering film, just not very often, because there are theaters that still just take film, but most time it's digital. And did you guys get the films on flash drives?
No,
Just the trailers.
They're too big for that.
Yeah.
The trailer packs would come in with the DCPs. Flash drives would be for keys, and occasionally we'd have movies, but those were like special screenings.
Yeah, so they'd come in like this big drive that you plug in.
Yeah.
Or something. And then the key was the thing that you needed
Oh.
on the flash drive. One of these actually.
Yeah.
And then that would activate the hard drive, so you couldn't pirate it. I mean, there's ways around it where you could, but that's
Yeah. That was one of the protections.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just fascinates me how far things have come, because when I worked at the theaters initially, and this was a long time ago, don't give me any grief. We got film cans, and somebody had to be there every Thursday night for the film cans to arrive. And the projectionist had to wait every Thursday night until the film can showed up and build the films.
Yeah, that's what I did.
And yeah, and he had, did you build the little from the cans?
Yeah.
Yeah. Little cans, pull the reels out, put it on the projector. And we didn't have platters. We had reels, and feed it through there and tape, glue it together and all that stuff. Because it was in 20-minute segments, I think, was it? Or
Not 20 minutes, but it's
3 segments of
maybe 25. Yeah, it depends on the size of the movie too.
Yeah, because we used to get 2 cans with 2 reels in them each.
Yeah.
So
Only 2 reels? Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's not very many.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did have anywhere. I think the smallest movie we had was 3 reels. That was what Winnie the Pooh movie. That was just a little over an hour. So yeah, about 20 minutes.
Well, there were 2 cans with 2 reels each. It was a total of 4 reels.
Okay, 4 reels. Yeah, but we had, some of the larger movies. I don't know, Dark Knight. Let's say be 6 reels.
Yeah,
stuff like that. So.
And I love film, seeing a projected film image. I know that Tarantino's theater only runs film images, but I also I kind of lean toward digital, because what happens to film? It deteriorates. It clips. You get broken scenes. You miss entire scenes because they've been so damaged that projectionists, and we did this at our theaters. You trimmed, 2 minutes of film because the film was damaged. You couldn't do anything with it. So you take it out and you throw it away, and you'd send the film back that way. Digital is perfect every time you run it. It's exactly what if it's done correctly, it's exactly what it should be. You never get any scratch lines or punch holes or any of that stuff. And I actually, Josh and I went to see the first one of the Star Wars movies,
Phantom Menace. Yeah.
And it was advertised as the first digital projection at that theater.
Yeah.
And it was glorious. It was just glorious. And that's how it should be. It should be perfect every time. Now, I know I'm going to get kickback from the Grindhouse people who say that's part of the Grindhouse charm. You're not wrong. But at the same time, if I'm watching, Odyssey, I don't want scratch lines on my screen.
I was going to mention Grindhouse because those 2 movies from Grindhouse, they were great. And I loved, because for me, it was nostalgia.
Of course it was. That was the whole point of that movie.
Yeah, my grandfather, my mom's dad, was a projectionist at a couple of theaters in town. And I wish I could remember actually going up into the projectionist booth to see how he did things.
You don't remember what you had for breakfast yesterday?
I don't remember yesterday.
That was what he had for breakfast this morning. Nothing. Same as me.
That was a dangerous job back in the day when film was flammable.
Yeah.
That's why that's why projectionist was a union job. And
oh yeah,
they had I know, like in the 20s, I think, when it first started really blowing up, they would have these wax seals on the portholes. So if they caught fire, they would melt and fall and trap. And if you were a projectionist, you got stuck up there.
Oh,
so yeah, it was a high risk job and you had to be really careful. So,
and when I worked at the Skyview Drive-In, it was a classic drive-in with a snack bar below and the projection booth above. And they used those projectors that had they would actually burn graphite sticks, right? Was it graphite sticks that burned so bright? That was the image you were sending out, was through this burning graphite stick, which is, Tarantino burned the acetone in Inglourious Bastards, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. But we had these, and you couldn't look at these sticks directly.
Oh yeah.
When they were lit up, they were just sun hot. But that was the brightness that came from that burning that graphite disc,
Kind of like
that disc stick.
the early searchlights, because they did I believe
It's exactly what it was like. Yeah. Yeah. But that's how those projectors were. It's just amazing to me how far the technology's come. Let's look at this for a minute. Technology has come from motion pictures being broadcast through a projector with light going through it onto a screen. And now we're like digital. It's like a giant television set that you can change every single thing with perfect sound and comfortable seats and D-box, all this stuff. And we're still driving gasoline cars. You do the math.
You know, in the early days of space exploration, when they started using computers, there's more computer power in your watch than what was in those computers.
That's true. What they say was comparable to a VIC 20 or something.
Yeah, it's not very. The computing power is in the like kilobytes.
Yeah.
It's not very.
Those computers would fill up this building.
And half the time they were playing Pong. I don't know.
It's you mentioned the cars. I mean, like there's reasons for that. It's because the car companies stopped progression on different modes of transportation. That's what Roger Rabbit's about, actually. I did want to mention, since we're talking about aspect ratios, that there's been a lot of controversy with the recent Disney film that's coming out. There's a new animated Disney film coming out called Hexed. It's about a girl who's a witch and she discovers this magical world of witches or whatever. People have noticed that the trailer, if you put a phone right in the center of the trailer, all the characters are within that center point. So they're thinking, oh my gosh.
John?
No,
I'm just trying to. I'm trying to redirect.
I actually thought it was me.
Let it comment.
So people are thinking that even though you have this theater format of a Disney film, if the movie comes out and you're just able to play it on TikTok reels on your phone, and you're able to see everything that has to happen, every important thing.
Interesting.
On the phone, watching vertically like this.
When did vertical become a thing again? I don't understand. I hate vertical myself.
TikTok.
I guess that's
That's the answer to most things right now is TikTok.
That's all the kids. I mean, that's why there's so much phones in the theaters right now. And they got the Subway Surfers playing at the bottom of things because they just don't have the attention span. So they're thinking, okay, well, if we format our movie to fit on a phone screen and we just fill in the extra space
figures,
we'll get the kids back in the movies. So like people are pretty pissed off about it.
Well, yeah.
It's like, it could just be we chose those scenes from the movie to put in our trailer so that it plays better on the phone, and it might be a better advertisement.
Or maybe the trailer's just done that way.
Or maybe the entire film is done that way.
I hope not.
So,
but if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be Disney.
There's been pushes like that. I think Megan 2 initially had a scene involving your phone where you're supposed to take out your phone and interact with the movie. And the pushback was like, no. And they took it out.
That's come back, though. I read something recently that they were in some theater, the Draft Movie House is doing something where they're encouraging you to take your phone out during the film.
Well, that's for the order food. Yeah.
Is that the only thing they did?
Yeah. But still, you shouldn't be on the phone.
You should.
Yeah.
You know who started all that? Rocky Horror Picture Show. When the audience watching it got so involved, especially with the toast and the dancing and all that, getting the audience to participate while you're watching.
I think they're different topics.
I think it's just trying to, because I feel like we are a minority of movie watchers where we want quiet and attention to the film that we paid for, whereas a majority of people, we've all had terrible theater experiences, are on their phones.
Take the money.
Can't have, the attention span for an hour and a half, let alone 2.5 hours on a film. So they got to be doing all this other junk. So they're, like most companies, pandering to that majority that doesn't appreciate what is on the screen as opposed to the minority who appreciates it. I mean, Disney's been doing that in their parks too, where they're looking at the majority of people as opposed to the minority of people.
That's what they have to do as a business. I get that.
Like recently, they made a big change to their portion of the Star Wars area of the park, where they had music composed by John Williams. That's supposed to be just this ambient background, like you're in a new world. And a majority of people were complaining, oh, where's the Star Wars music? Where's the John Williams music we know? But that John Williams music was saved for key points in the rides that's supposed to bring you that emotion. Like, oh my God, we just did the Starfight. Like, oh, there's the music, like we saved the day. That's where that music was saved from, because it's an emotional impact. And
Right.
that ambiance was supposed to help you feel like you're in this alien world. Well, people kept complaining that, where's this Star Wars music? So now you go in and it's the big Star Wars opening theme, and now it's the Imperial March, and now it's, the asteroid belt. And it's like, I'm just ordering a freaking blue milk right now. I don't need that. But that's the majority. It's not the minority of people who appreciate the world building and the ambiance of things. So I feel like that's what they're doing for the movie people. They don't care about the people who appreciate it. They care about the dollar amount.
And I get that. They have to do that. The only thing is it destroys, if you're a filmmaker and all of a sudden you have to be making your film in a TikTok friendly formula, it's not your art anymore. It's commerce.
I'm super thankful that we saw Obsession opening weekend.
Yeah.
Because my understanding now is a lot of people go see it. I'm obviously happy that indie movies doing really good.
Yeah.
But my understanding is people go and they just film their reactions to the scenes on TikTok now. And that's part of the reason it's blowing up so big, is they film their reactions or commentary, and it's a big thing. And you can't just sit there and watch the movie. Like,
Yeah,
I don't.
And then comment on it afterwards.
Yeah.
Like you're like, I don't get it. I've never understood those reaction videos anyway. And I know they're a big deal, but I've had people try to get me, you need to do reaction videos. No, I don't. I mean, basically we do when we drink Slivovitz on the Friday Shot Day show. But
well, we did those trailer react things on our channel for a little bit. But the thing is like, a lot of these people, they just watch the trailer and they go, wow, isn't that great? And then it ends. Me, I'm like, no, we got to sit and talk about it for 15 minutes afterwards. And you would see it in the views. You'd have 70-80% viewership during the trailer, and then it would drop down to 10% when you're actually talking about it. I was like, nobody cares, because like they're like, you're not reacting to it, you're not getting all excited when you're watching. I'm like, no, I'm ingesting what I'm seeing. I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to watch the trailer. And then I was like, all right, that sucked, or all right, that was awesome.
And then the discussion starts.
Yeah.
That's
the trailer
the whole point.
breakdown.
So it was like, we were leaning towards what everybody wanted, but we were still doing what we wanted.
Yeah.
And we figured we don't care about the majority. We want to keep the people who care about this extra part at the end. And that's how we're going to build our base.
I think that's perfect.
So then, we don't do that anymore.
Yeah. But that you guys did that better, because you weren't just showing your face,
Yeah.
you guys, and then you would sit and discuss it, and that made a difference. It wasn't just a reaction video.
Yeah.
And I despise the reaction videos about rock and roll. Oh, we got this 84-year-old blues musician to listen to Metallica. So
It's almost entirely the reaction videos are to get a thumbnail of some guy freaking out.
yeah.
That's what it seems like to me. They want a thumbnail. Look at that guy freaking out over this.
Yeah.
So people click on it.
That was the fun part, making the thumbnails. I just used the dumbest faces I could find. If someone was drinking water, that's part of the thumbnail. Like
Jeff's thumbnail. I mentioned this to him for the 127 podcast, was always
yeah, the worst face that anybody makes in there. I don't care. I'm putting it up there.
That's what we used to do with our badges for Samus. Remember?
Yes.
We'd get the worst faces we could do. Anyway, so I just wanted to mention that because I think it was interesting that Ratio is back in the discussion of home physical media, especially. And I also like this as well because it proves all of us in this room are correct. PlayStation has removed access to 500 movies, over 500 movies that people bought. Buy it now. Oh, I'm buying that movie now. No, you're not. You're buying a license for that movie as long as we have our license. So if you bought movies on PlayStation, you might want to check your digital library because some of them might very well be missing. And that's why you buy Blu-rays and DVD and even VHS, because they're yours.
You went hard media.
Yeah.
There was a thing last year, those, when you'd buy a DVD, you'd get that little digital code.
Oh,
yeah.
With that thing. Apparently that went out of business.
Yeah. So it's gone.
All of that's gone too.
Every time I take a Blu-ray home and it's got the slip still in it and you try to, page not found.
Yeah.
So they did it. There's code on there that says that code expired on a certain date, but people via Amazon and via PlayStation were buying. They thought they were buying movies.
And I'm sure I know it's in the fine print. It doesn't matter. The option should say purchase license.
It should.
That's what that's what it should say.
Yes,
It should not say purchase.
that's right.
I feel like if there was a savvy enough lawyer, I feel like somebody could at least do
Somebody
something.
took Amazon to court and Amazon won. So
Yeah, good luck. That's where you're
yeah,
you
exactly
just
right.
need enough money.
I mean, that's how I feel about. You guys will disagree. At least I know Scotty will disagree with
You're
me.
right. I don't agree with that, John.
See, exactly. When this says free with purchase, well, then it's not really free.
Oh, we're gonna go to this article. It's still free, John.
No, it should be
John,
included
John,
with purchase.
If you go to a restaurant and you get a Diet Coke and they say $2, you pay for it, right? If you go to a restaurant and say, I want a Diet Coke and a fry, and you give them the $2 for the Diet Coke, the fries are free.
Where can you get free fries?
McDonald's.
Lots of places.
Really?
Yeah.
Use your apps.
Hey, McDonald's has got the best hot fries when they're fresh.
You know what? Hacks, so you don't have to deal with the McDonald's line when your schnitzel has just as good fries.
Wiener Schnitzel fries are very good.
They're almost identical.
But once they're cold, to reheat,
Air fryer.
This from the guy who puts everything in his freezer. They had 5 Big Macs for $5, so I ate one and I put 4 in the freezer.
And your point.
It's smart because you still got Big Macs and I don't. All right, so this weekend for Father's Day, Josh took me down to see the Jaws exhibit. There's the sign. Who's that dude in the shorts?
Dad don't know.
I have many more pictures, but not all of them came through. But I'll tell you what's silly. I'm such a Jaws geek that I walked in, and this is the first thing I saw. The buoy that Chrissy hung on to during the opening sequence, and I got goosebumps just looking at the friggin' buoy. So that was kind of cool. They had an actual life-size version of the shark hanging in the thing. You don't want to mess with that guy. He'll swallow, as my dad used to say, he'll swallow you whole in the rest of your body too.
Okay, big question. Is that one?
John, it's not a big question. It's just a question.
Oh, it is because it's a big shark.
Okay, go ahead.
Was that the life size that we saw on screen, or was that a smaller?
It's all life-size to the movie.
Yeah, it was made from the original mold.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's pretty big.
Yeah, that was the one that was, I guess it was the same mold also that the one that was hanging at Universal for a long time. Remember it was hanging.
But with what Greg Ticatero added teeth.
Yeah.
Greg Ticatero added the razor, the knife blade teeth.
Yeah.
So you would say that's probably bigger than your dad's old Ford pickup.
It's a 20-footer, 25, 3 tons of him.
Oh, wow.
And that, if I remember right from reading the plaque, that one was one of only 3 that were made from the mold
I think so.
or something like that.
It's
So,
pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. And when you see how big it is, it's kind of stunning. Like I said, I had much more photos, but thankfully for you, most of them didn't transfer well. But this is a mechanical shark that you could go up and operate yourself. That little counter you see there in the front is where the instructions were. All it did was move its head back and forth and open its jaw. But it's still kind of fun. But here's what I want you to see in this picture. So you see the little mechanical shark there in front. You see the image in the back wall? That is the actual size of the shark from Jaws.
Wow.
So that outline there is how big that shark actually was. But they had some terrific things. We walked around a corner into one room and there was the orca sitting on the floor there. It was a facsimile of the orca, which was Quint's ship, if you didn't know that. And it was cool to see that. They had his chair there and his beer. They even had his beer in a glass case, because I'm sure it got stolen so many times. They put a glass case on it. But his harpoon was there and what have you. That was cool. What else was there? Oh, they had the forced perspective.
That was fun.
Theme.
Yeah.
When Brody first sees the shark,
pull back and zoom forward.
Yeah, they explained how they did it, and then they had a setup so that you could download it up and do it yourself. And I'd show it to you here, but again, it didn't transfer. So
did they have the song playing?
No, but they did have the interior of the orca where you could sit down and take a picture. So we all sat down and took a picture at the orca table. That was cool.
I remember that scene where the 3 of them, they're singing the song sitting at the table.
Yeah. What was the song?
I can't remember.
Show me the way to go.
Yeah, that was it. Show me the way to go home.
I don't know. That's the song. That's just the first line.
Sounds good.
Anyway, the exhibit ends July 31st, I think. And if you haven't gone, you need to go. It's just, it's amazing. They also have,
What's the cost?
I don't know, he paid.
I can't remember. I think it was $22 for a senior. So
Really?
yeah.
And they also had a Marilyn Monroe exhibit going on at the same time with some of her original dresses, some rebuilds of her original dresses because they were either lost or sold or something. So that was kind of cool. The creepiest kind of thing though is that her makeup artist had brought in a makeup kit that Marilyn used, and they had it all opened up, of course. And one of the things was her eyelashes. Kind of creeped me out. It's like, oh, there's Marilyn Monroe's eyelashes. That's kind of weird. But it was a very cool exhibit as well. And there was one that you would have loved, Jeff. It was it Pixar?
Which one?
The animation one? The room with the statues?
Oh yeah, it was the Toy Story one.
Yeah, it's right.
Yeah.
It's Toy Story. It was Pixar.
What was that machine called?
Zoetrope.
Yeah, Zoetrope. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So they had this platter, and on the platter were statues, and they were like stop motion statues, so that there were just little movements between each statue. So this statue had his right arm down. This statue had his right arm a little bit up. This statue, and it was the same statue, but just the movement. And then this table would start to spin. And I thought you were supposed to be able to see something, but all I saw was seasickness. It was because it was spinning so fast. But then they put the flickering light on, and they hit that thing with the light, and you thought those characters were dancing right in front of you.
It was amazing.
It was really, really cool. That was alone was worth the price of admission.
Yeah.
It was just a very cool thing. And they also had a Barbie and Anna Karenina exhibit going on there for the set design, production design. And I got a great picture of the Barbieville, or whatever they call it. Is it Barbieville? Barbie, her city?
Yeah.
It was a model that I took a picture of. There's no way you can tell. You look at the picture looks like it's a painting. It was really, really cool. And there was one other thing they had there.
They had a Ponyo exhibit.
That's right, the Ponyo exhibit.
Yeah,
which
was
was
just mostly this draft arts.
Yeah, but nice big screens.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't wait to get to the gift shop.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some cool stuff at the gift shop. First of all, any gift shop you go into, and the Jaws section is here, and right next to it is the Godzilla section. That's a pretty good gift shop. But they knew it. I just couldn't bring myself to spend the money they were asking for stuff there. It was insane. The thing I liked the most was a little cloth patch that said Amity Police Department, and a badge that said Sheriff Chief Brody, or Chief Brody, I guess. And I thought, I got to get that. $80. No, I don't got to get that.
It's a museum donation. Write it off.
Yeah, that's true. I probably could have.
What's the name of this place, and where's it located?
It's in LA, and it's called the museum. It's the Academy of Arts and Motion Pictures Association Museum, next to LACMA, and also very close to Danny Trejo's Tacos.
Yes.
Yeah, but where in LA? I mean, LA is huge.
It's downtown LA, isn't it? Isn't that?
No, it's not downtown.
It's where the La Brea Tar Pits is.
Yes, it's right next to the La Brea Tar
Okay,
Pits.
so it's not far from the Peterson Museum.
Yeah. And it's also apparently around the corner from where Andrea used to live, which is where she learned all her great Los Angeles driving techniques.
She does, yes.
She does very well.
Mad Max.
Yeah. So anyway, that was the two things I wanted to talk about here at the beginning, because I was fascinated by the ratio systems back. And again, go see the Jaws music exhibit. And I can't wait to see what they got next.
Yeah.
Because the exhibits there are just stunning. I mean, most of the time you're looking at the real item, but a lot of times it's facsimiles and remakes because the things have been lost. But they had screenplays with Spielberg's notes on them. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, when I went, they like 90% of it was all just like indie filmmakers from like the early days, and like a lot of French directors and stuff. So
Yeah.
it wasn't anything that like I knew anything about. So I was just kind of like, all right, well, just going through it. And they did have a Godfather exhibit where they had all the costumes and like the Vito Corleone's desk.
Yes,
They
that
had
was,
that-
that was still
They
there.
had that still there?
Oh,
Okay.
that's what I was at.
And then I remember the animation room, they did have a lot of like Pixar drawings and stuff like that. And then they also had a lot of the maquettes from Pinocchio, Guillermo del Toro's.
Oh,
So that was cool to see. And then the coolest thing that I loved was they had in the lobby the Dystraflex from Star Wars.
oh,
Which I don't know if they still had it, but the camera that they had to invent that moved along with the spaceships on the blue screen so that they could do the same take multiple times and then have those spaceships flying
merging
around and stuff.
together. Yeah,
So that was cool. But then like they had the one thing that threw me off, but which you said as well, was like there's a creature feature room where they have like stuff, props that you would know, but those are all like recreations. I don't think they're the actual things, because I remember seeing the Jurassic Park Barbasol can in there, and I'm like, that's not the real one. And she's like, how do you know? And I'm like, well, there's a little story about the Barbasol can, because they lost the original Barbasol can. And back in like 2013 or 14, when I first got the job at Regency, one of the first things I bought was a replica Barbasol can with the whole thing off of eBay. And I guess the story with that is Universal was trying to create this new DVD pack or something, some sort of giveaway with the Barbasol can. They couldn't figure out how to make them. So they went to that guy that I bought it from, and they said, can you start making these for us? And so then that's what he started doing. So all the Barbasol cans you see from like collector's packs or in that museum are from that guy that I bought it from. So I'm like, yeah, this is the exact one that I have in the garage. So it was just kind of interesting. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that it's either lost or it's damaged and they can't display it, so they just come up with a recreation, and it's beautiful. Most of the time they're just, you can't. It seems like it's really expensive to do that stuff.
Yeah, it's amazing that the different techniques and items that have been created to shoot movies, like the different cameras that have been developed for specific feature that they're filming. It's just amazing what they have before all the AI stuff, that all the practical stuff that they used to shoot. I think it's just amazing. And what's really sad, I was here listening to the radio yesterday, and they're talking about the different houses that are closing, production houses that are closing in the LA area, because so many productions are going not only out of city, they're going out of state, going out of country. And
well, there's just offers everywhere now.
Yeah,
it's AI and it's tax credits. I mean, I was watching Doctor Strange in the Multiverse last night. I could not believe the number of governmental tie-ins that movie had. Had to be 8. It's edited in Maui. Oh, and then there's the Hawaiian credit for that.
Yeah.
So you got to go where the discount is, and California is the best place to shoot because of the weather and what have you. But they can't offer all those credits, so they would go out of business. So it's a tough thing, but they've really got to woo that industry back here.
Yeah, it's more so about the how expensive it is, because there's so many extra costs if you want to shoot something in LA, let's say, there's so many extra costs with the buildings you're using, with the permits and everything, as opposed to shooting somewhere outside of that. I mean, even shooting in Ventura is cheaper than shooting in California. So a lot of these movie studios are moving out of state to avoid those costs. So that's why recently, I think within the last year, California started offering like, hey, if you use only California locations, like local locations, you will get a big tax credit on your film. And that's bringing a lot of production companies back. So that's why you're seeing a lot more stuff shooting in this area. And I mean, like, I don't know if I told you guys, but last year in December, someone came to our door and said, hey, can we use your house for a movie? And they said, here's all the information. Like, this is what it's going to be. It's going to have Benicio del Toro in it. Like, you'll get compensated for that. like this is the kind of house we're looking for. And it's so I did a bunch of research to figure out if it was legit.
Yeah.
You know, because my house is supposed to be empty for 3 weeks. I'm like, that's perfect for somebody to rob it. You know?
Exactly.
So I did the research and stuff, and they're like, no, it's like a tax credit thing. Like California just started doing it, so they're going to be doing that a lot more, where they're going to be filming local stuff, and it's to try to bring these companies back.
That's what they got to do.
So it was my house didn't get chosen, so I didn't get 40 grand, but you know, it is what it is.
That's interesting though, because it could happen to anybody out there. Just do your research, because it could also be a scam. So
yeah,
I remember back when I was doing film production, we shot a couple different features here in Santa Paula.
Mhm.
And how is that street? It's either Santa Paula Street or Santa Barbara Street. It's got all those Victorian homes.
oh, Santa Paula.
And I drive down there now and I see those particular houses that they pictured or that they featured in this movie. I don't remember what the name of the movie was, but they're in such disrepair now.
Mhm.
But this was a great place. Santa Paula was a great place to film all kinds of stuff. I remember Dennis DeYoung's movie, I think it was called, or not movie, video, I think it was called Paradise, after he left Styx. They shot at the train station here in town.
well, there have been dozens, if not hundreds of, there's actually, I don't know if it's still there. I think they just recently removed it, but they had a storefront in Santa Paula that had a listing of all the productions. And it was like, you know, little images somebody had painted on window, on glass,
Mhm.
and it went around the building. And it was really cool to go check that out. But I think that's been taken down by now. But I mean, I was here when I was working for the county of Ventura when they shot 2 Jakes here in Ventura and up the road on the Rincon. Is that what that beach is up there?
Yeah, it's toward that way.
Yeah. And it was funny because almost any given moment I could get up from my chair, I walk to the window, look down 3 stories, and there would be Jack Nicholson standing down there talking to people, because he directed that as well. So he was involved in every aspect. And I'm standing here looking at Jack Nicholson. How freaking cool is that? You know, it was pretty awesome. So
Well, what I like is, like, when I'm reading your books and you're describing certain areas, which I know where that place is here in Ventura County, because I like the way you incorporate.
Ventura County is a character in my
Yes.
books. Yes.
And then I'll be watching a movie and I'll go, oh, I know where that one was filmed. I know where that was. I start recognizing certain areas. That movie that Michael Paré did about the ship. That
The final countdown.
No.
The second final countdown.
Yeah, no, it's the 15th final cut. No, it's the one where back in the 40s,
The Philadelphia Experiment.
that was it. And you start seeing certain areas where that was filmed between Fillmore and Santa Paula. I really like picking out certain areas. Like, I know where that was shot.
There's a scene in Albert Brooks' film Mother that I was watching it on probably VHS. It may be on DVD. It doesn't matter. Anyway, there's this one scene where he's driving on the freeway, and all of a sudden it just popped in my head. I go, I know that. So I stopped the thing, and I had to sit there and think until I came up with it. And it's at the top of the grade, the Conejo grade. He was coming over the top of the Conejo grade, and you got that vast valley that's right there. And I had driven that every day for so many years that it instantly popped in my head. And that is kind of cool to see. But it also sometimes takes you out of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, wait, I know that's like, what's the one they shot on the beach out here with Little Miss Sunshine.
Yeah. You're like, that's not how that road
Yeah,
works.
that's right. Yeah, it's like, no, you can't go down there and get here.
I think it's an episode of The Mandalorian, and they're just like clearly in Simi Valley. It's like, that's not an alien planet. They have good food
Well, it might be.
there. Is Boba Fett gonna go to the Hat?
Yeah.
Some fries? Like,
Oh, that's a good place.
like
Great pastrami at the Hat.
It is. That's true.
The way.
So I don't know how we got on that topic, but we did.
Hey, speaking of the Mandalorian.
little Grogu.
Speaking of the brewing company.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
It's better.
Oh, well, speaking of later, if we get to the news stories.
we'll do that next, as a matter of fact.
Your turn.
Yeah.
Do you have one of those death metal shirts with those bands you
No, I
can?
just have buttons.
Oh,
Yeah, but you
okay.
got the hat.
Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
There you go.
Ah.
There we go.
That's it.
And the hat.
I do have a hat. There is Sword and Sorcery movie. There's Sword and Sorcery news. So
Okay, well, let's start with his news, and we'll go to your news, and then we'll get to our reviews. Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, I just had two quick news stories about things that I enjoy. Blair Witch Project is getting a reboot. They hired a YouTube director to do it, and I don't know. I'm a little excited about it, but I'm a little worried about it because I don't know if they're going to get it right. But the guy who's directing it is a guy named Dylan Clark. He did a number of short films on YouTube. One of them called Portrait of God. I don't know if you've seen any of those.
I don't think so.
It's a really good short film. I would recommend checking it out. But it's also produced by Blumhouse and stuff like that. And I haven't been a big fan of Blumhouse's IP remakes. So I don't know if they're going to get it right. Because I feel like the good thing about Blair Witch is that they don't show anything.
Right.
It kind of leaves it up to your imagination. Because like when they're interviewing all those people in the beginning, they're each telling a different story. And then as you go along, things from each of those stories happen. So you don't know if it's all of those things happening, one thing happening, or if they're just going crazy. It's a mystery to it. And I love it. And I'm not sure. So figured I'd bring it up.
I'm very concerned about that too. I mean, I can understand why they're remaking it, but at the same time, it's like, can you catch that kind of lightning twice in a bottle? I don't think so, but we'll see.
That was one of the things I liked about a lot of Hitchcock's movies. What he didn't show you, you saw in your imagination.
Or what he did show you, but the characters in the film didn't see. I always love that too. What's your second piece of news?
Well, there was an interview with David Koepp regarding Jurassic World, the future of Jurassic World, which they're going into production in September. And you know my feelings on Rebirth. I thought it was a fun film. It wasn't a necessarily good film because they wrote themselves in a corner, and I could go on a rant about that for hours about
And he has.
how it doesn't make any sense why dinosaurs would die due to our climate, but whatever, you know. So he says this about the new film when asked about a trilogy. He says, you can't say trilogy. You've got to make one good movie. So now what about another good movie? How would we do that? I think that the challenge of Rebirth was that the franchise has become very big, very spread out. Let's make the dinosaurs special again by restricting them. So we restricted them to this thing, and then the challenge becomes, okay, now how do we logically and scientifically believable, in a scientifically believable way, expand? That would be a good question. If somebody can answer that, I think you'll have a next movie.
Jeff, do you want to pitch your idea right here?
How do we scientifically expand when the guy who limited the franchise by non-scientific ways is like, he doesn't have any idea of how to expand it, and they're starting the movie in September. What are we doing?
Wait a minute. He's writing this
He's
one?
writing the next
Oh, I thought he was making suggestions.
No, he's writing it, and he doesn't have anything, and it's September is when they're starting production.
That's pretty rough.
Now, in his defense, he's a great writer, but he might be spread a little thin right now.
And he says scientifically, how do we scientifically expand? And it's like, dude, you wrote in the last one that the dinosaurs are dying off because it's too cold. When there are dinosaurs that are feathered that lived in cold climates. It doesn't make any sense. What do you mean scientifically? You didn't do your research last time.
Dinosaurs would just go to Costa Rica, where they were originally from. I look at that weather every day. It's exactly the same. They would thrive. Even if they didn't, even if the cold weather was an issue, they would just be where it was hot.
But like
migrate.
But it's like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You wrote the last one and you didn't follow your own advice. What are you talking about?
Maybe he realized his error.
I don't know. And he wrote himself into a corner. Like, you had the world expanded. You could do anything. And you're like, oh, miss those islands. Let's go back for the 8th time. Like, no, you had it. I'm a little upset about it.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
I'm going to leave it there because I could go on.
And like I said, David Koepp is one of the great screenwriters of all time. Yeah. So, I mean, everybody has missteps, of course, but I'm not counting them out just yet.
Universal or David, you listening? If you need help,
roughedgestudios@gmail.com.
there you go. Comment. I'm your guy. Hey, you'll have a script in 2 weeks. Done.
Hey, if you need some extras, we're here, all of us.
You don't have to pay me. You can pay them. Just give me a taco or something. I'll call it a day.
Josh can sit in for Jimmy Buffett.
There you go.
There you go.
I'll be running with the
The
margaritas.
margaritas,
That's right. Yeah. Okay. What do you got, Josh?
Oh, yes. It was announced a couple days ago that they are doing a Conan the Barbarian animated series helmed by Gendy Tartakovsky of Samurai Jack fame and most recently Primal, which has been my favorite show for the past few years. I'm very excited for it, and I can't look forward to it. Gendy Tartakovsky, in my opinion, did the best best Star Wars project out of the original, outside of the original trilogy. He did a Clone Wars animated series in the 2004, and it's phenomenal.
Awesome.
And I think Primal was a pitch for Conan. He nailed it, and I think we're in for an awesome treat. So
Nice. Yeah. It's good that Conan's enjoying this resurgence with that and with the Schwarzenegger's new movie, which everybody laughed about when Schwarzenegger announced it. But then, oh yeah, Christopher Corey's going to write and direct it. Like, oh wait, what?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's real.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
and it's apparently been greenlit and got a budget and everything. So a lot of Conan coming around. I wish they bring that event back at Universal Studios.
I saw the first Conan movie at the Fox Ventura
Yep,
on Mills.
that's where it played.
It's not there anymore. Building still is.
It's a bakery now.
A bakery, a beauty shop, a jewelry store.
Oh, the stories we have from that place. Wait, might get my brother on here one day to tell those stories. Yeah. All right. So anyway, that's pretty much all the news we're going to cover for the moment. But let's move on. Jeff, you didn't see anything this week?
I saw the first 2 episodes of the new season of The Bear, but I kind of want to wait to talk about that after I'm done with it.
Okay. Did you watch the final episode of the last season? Because they added it at the last minute, like a little mini movie.
Oh no, we didn't see that movie.
Okay.
No, but Em and I did watch a recap of season 4 because we started the new season. It's like, wait, where are we at right now? And then, we had to recap and it's like, okay, all right, got it. So I would recommend maybe doing that. Because I'm not good at remembering. Like
I have to watch.
I kind of have to binge the whole thing again.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good. It's pretty interesting.
So it's holding up to previous seasons?
I think so. We're only 2 episodes in.
Yeah.
It's only been about, I think the first episode was like 20 minutes. Second episode was about that long too. So it wasn't, you didn't really get in there very much, but yeah, it's The Bear. It's stressful. It's interesting. It's, good acting, but
what I love about The Bear is that they'll have an episode. It's like, oh, look, they're running this little restaurant. They're a family. They say swear words, but they get along. They're making it. And then the next episode, rub it in your face while you watch this. It's like, it's just, the juxtaposition's insane. But it's always just razor sharp. But that always brings up the question about why is it Jeremy Allen White? Why do you have to play the Hut in the last, that thing, the Mandalorian? There was no reason for that. Anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about The Bear. Bear is great. I'm looking forward to that. We're finishing up the agency, and then when we're done with the agency, back to The Bear. Nothing else?
Nope. I was stupid busy this week.
Did you work on your thingy here?
I wish I did.
No, no first run news.
Yeah, I've been changing the aspect ratio a little bit, talking about aspect ratios.
Are you going to go for the CinemaScope?
Well, the thing is I think I mentioned this before. So we were using Blackmagic cameras, and the lens we had on it was a Canon lens that changes the focal length or whatever. The Blackmagic cameras, I guess you're supposed to use like fixed focal length lenses. So when you look at the film, everything looks a little too stretched. So I had to go in and I had to kind of fix that. So it's kind of like on this super wide anamorphic thing. So everybody looks a little wider, and then like, you know, we're watching it, it's like that person's not that wide. Like you gain an extra couple pounds with it.
He's talking about me, but that's okay.
No. So it's like this minute difference. So basically what I did was I just changed it from this crazy wide, you know, spaghetti Western scope to 16:9. And then, you know, you just kind of move it in just a little bit. You change the width a little bit, and everything's fixed the way it needs to be.
Oh,
it's
good.
Just an issue with the lens and the camera not reading correctly and having to do a little bit of extra work. So
I'm glad.
I mean, when I have the 20 minutes I do have a day now, I just go through and I'm like, all right, let me change as many as I can to fit that. It's kind of messing up certain things because like, I've had to do a lot of masking in the film. Remember, I've told you like, oh, this is my week is going over this 8 seconds of film, going frame by frame, 24 seconds or 24 frames a second, masking this thing around. Luckily, not too much of that has been messed with, but there's like a bunch of scenes where it's like the stabilization of the camera and the tracking on certain things is kind of messed up due to the aspect ratio being changed. So I'm going through and I'm fixing that as well. But other than that, I memean, I haven't done anything because I've had zero time to do it this week.
Well, it's essential that you get the ratio right, because I got to tell you, that just, I can't stand it. I'll watch some. I was watching some old vampire movie that was supposed to be in a different ratio, and it drove me crazy. I couldn't do it. Finally, I go, okay, I can't fix it. I can't watch it. I just, it throws me off every time.
Pull up the GoFundMe thing.
John, I'm the producer of the show. I'll decide what gets pulled up when it gets pulled up.
Okay.
So you got 2 reviews. So talk about your first review.
Actually, I got more than two.
Oh, good God! I apologize in advance. Go ahead.
I watched 3 different movies. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly.
And you can donate to Jeff's movie if you'd like to, just by going to GoFundMe.com. You just scan this image here, and it'll take you directly to the GoFundMe page, and you can donate any amount you'd like. So scan that image or go to GoFundMe.com and search for the comedy film First Run, and you can donate there.
Oh, I've had a lot of downtime at work, so I've been writing the sequel.
And the sequel's coming.
And I've been trying to write a new horror script, but I've been I have a few to pick from, and I've been trying to pick which one I'm going to focus on. But about 50 pages into second run, and I've got a few page outlines for a found footage horror film that I want to do. So, or either that or a haunted hotel movie. So,
well, there's a haunted hotel right here. So
that's right.
Yeah,
we've talked about that.
Yes, we have. All right, Johnny. I'm sorry. Did I interrupt you?
No.
Okay, so you saw the ungentlemanly warfare.
I'd seen it before,
Quebec,
and I had to watch it again. It's actually based on true facts. Now, I'm sure, like a lot of movies and TV shows that are based on true facts, they've taken liberties.
Oh, God, yes, especially that movie.
But this movie I really enjoyed this movie. It had a great cast. I highly recommend it. I can't remember if I saw it on Netflix or Prime Video, one or the other. But it is such a good movie. And the characters were actually based on real characters.
My understanding is this is one of the missions that Ian Fleming was involved in.
Yes,
back then,
according to the movie.
Oh, is he in the movie too? I completely forgot that. Maybe that's where I got the idea that he was in it. That had something to do with it, because Ian Fleming, who created James Bond, was a master of creating missions to fight the Germans back in World War II. And the one I always thought, and I'd love to make a movie, I would have a title for it, was Fleming's Floozies. His idea was to train all these hookers in Britain in the ways of espionage and learning the German language perfectly, ship them all to Germany where they would seduce very knowledgeable German upper hands and stuff like that as prostitutes, collect the information, and then bring them back. what a great friggin' plan. But I don't know that it ever happened or whatever, but that was Ian Fleming's. That was one of his creations.
I read something a few days ago. The character that Henry Cavill played, which was Captain
Gus Marsh.
I can't remember what his
Gus March Phillips.
I can't remember what his character, what his rank was. It was a colonel, captain, something like that. Anyway, that Ian Fleming based James Bond on him, the real guy.
Yeah, how many times have we heard?
Well, I think it's Christopher Lee, right? Christopher Lee was a big basis for James Bond.
Yes.
I think
because they were
related.
They were related.
Yeah.
Yes, Christopher Lee and Ian Fleming were related. Yeah,
and Christopher Lee was special ops in World War II.
That's when Fleming wrote James Bond. He always had Christopher Lee in mind.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so many legends about how James Bond be created. It's like who created the Mai Tai. Try to get a serious answer from anybody. You can't. The synopsis for that movie is British Prime Minister Winston Churchill and a group of military officials hatch a daring plan to neutralize Hitler's fleet of German U-boats during World War II. Made up of a motley crew of rogues and mavericks, the top secret combat unit uses unconventional techniques to battle the Nazis and change the course of the war. It's utterly ridiculous as far as the action's concerned, which is what you want in that kind of movie. But it was a load of fun. Guy Ritchie directed it, and Alan Ritchson, Reacher himself, is in it as well as Elsa Gonzalez. She's just amazing. I've been very impressed with her lately. So anyway, that's available somewhere out there for you to stream, and we suggest that you do. We both do. What else you got, Johnny?
I also watched Bohemian Rhapsody. Now, granted, that movie came out almost 10 years ago, I think.
At least.
And I'd never watched it before. And
8 years.
Which really surprises me because I'm a big fan of Queen. I'm a big fan of the actor who plays Freddie Mercury.
Such a big fan, you don't know his name.
Yes, I do. It's Rami Malek. I couldn't remember how to say his name.
Thank God it's on the screen here.
Yes. I really enjoyed this movie. I did not get to watch the last 10 minutes of it, which I got to go back in. And,
we got home.
Yeah, exactly. But I thoroughly enjoyed what I did get to watch. It was on Netflix, so I highly recommend it.
Have you all seen Bohemian Rhapsody?
Yeah, I have not. No.
It's good because it's not it comes close, but it's not sterilized like maybe Michael was. So anyway, go ahead.
I also watched The Sheep Detectives.
Oh, I've been wanting to see that. I've heard good things.
I really enjoyed that movie. It was fun to watch. And it had a pretty good cast in it. The people who did the voices, it was good. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
A lot of people I know have gone to see that and they've all enjoyed it. So
it's a feel-good movie. I'll put it that way.
Emma Thompson's in it.
Mm-hmm.
Just take my money.
Did you watch that on streaming or on Prime?
Yeah.
Is it already on there?
Yeah.
Oh, for free or rent?
No, it was for free.
He would never rent anything in his life.
Well, that's why. It's because it was just out in theaters like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch that tonight. I didn't know it was on Amazon already. Awesome.
I finished watching the first season of Dutton Ranch, which I really enjoyed. I started a new series on Netflix called Man on Fire, which is, years ago, I saw a Denzel Washington movie called Man on Fire, which is one of my favorite Denzel Washington movies.
It's a good movie.
It was the camaraderie between his character and Dakota Fanning's character. To me, I just hope that was them in real life. It was.
They hated each other in real life.
Yeah, probably.
No, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, like you and me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Like I said, I just started watching it. I think it's only an 8-episode series.
I've heard really good things about that show, especially the action sequences.
And then I also binge watched season 25 of Law and Order.
Did that just get canceled?
They could cancel Law and Order?
Because it's been around 37 years or something like
Yeah.
that. I think they did.
25 seasons.
So not 37. So less than that.
Well, if you start adding all the spinoffs from Law and Order.
Yeah, I'm not adding those. I'm talking about the original series. I think it was just canceled. And somebody was complaining about it, but you know what? That doesn't mean it was canceled.
So
Oh no, it says renewed for its 26th season.
Oh yeah.
The spinoff, organized crime was canceled.
Oh, that's what it is.
But also that's the AI overview. So take it with a grain of salt, people.
Yeah, that's exactly true.
they even have a Law and Order Toronto.
They have
which
a
is-
Law and Order El Rio for now. It's just crazy how they get all these cities.
Say what? They even had for a short time Law and Order UK or UK Law and Order, which that series is really good. Unfortunately, it's
Okay, now just take a minute and think how much time this man watches Law and Order and these Chicago shows and everything else, and then he's always too busy to go to the movies. I'm too busy.
Good old license for that.
Yeah. Are you done?
okay.
You didn't mention the death of Sherlock Holmes, the death of Robin Hood.
Well, I was waiting for you to do that because
We did go to the theater and see Death of Robin Hood, which is a movie about Robin Hood. How many people today do you think know who Robin Hood even is? It's just not a character that
It's a
you're.
stock trading app to most people.
Yeah, exactly. So I was surprised this movie ever got made. It's made by the director of Pig. It is a gloomy, well acted and well made movie about Robin Hood realizing I'm no hero. I'm a mass murderer. People celebrate me and I should just be dead because I've done nothing but kill people when I could have saved people. So he basically gets his butt handed to him, ends up in this community where he's like creating a new life for himself. But of course, people are still following him because a lot of people want him dead because he killed their families or whatever. And time catches up to him. Hugh Jackman plays Robin Hood in it, by the way. And like I said, well acted, well made, gloomy. And my question was, as I left the theater, why did you make this movie? Why did this movie get made? I don't understand. I've since figured it out. All these years, you always hear about Robin Hood being the hero. Robin from the rich, given to the poor, right? And whoever wrote this wanted to say, well, what if he wasn't a good guy? What if he was really a bad guy who was just a thief?
It sounds like a deconstruction for the sake of deconstruction.
That's pretty much.
It seems to happen a lot
Yeah,
with writing these days.
that's exactly what it turned out to be. It's ultra violent in scenes. It's achingly slow most of the time. Just achingly slow with lots of dialogue. And like I said, there isn't sun to be seen anywhere in this picture. It's just gloomy. If you're curious about the filmmaker or Hugh Jackman, or there's other actors in it who are terrific as well, it's worth checking out, but it just don't go in expecting to dance out of the theater happy.
I've heard the score is really good.
Score is excellent.
Okay.
Yeah, score is excellent. That's one of the things I did
Photography was
notice.
excellent.
Well, it was, but it was all gloomy. And it was that guy's first time shooting on film. He's always shot his movies on video. So this was his first time shooting on film. And he did a good job, the director, I should say. He did a good job capturing it, but all he captured was gloom.
Well, the location was a gloomy location. The way it starts out and all that, shows that girl. She's practically freezing to death looking for Robin. And it was a gloomy movie. So
It was. There's no question about it. So anything else that you got?
over the years, there's been a lot of whether TV shows or movies about Robin Hood. And I remember when I was a kid, I used to watch the British TV series Robin Hood from the 1950s. Richard Green played Robin Hood. As a kid, I really enjoyed it. I liked all the Earl Flynn movies as Robin Hood. I liked the Kevin Costner Robin Hood.
You're proving my point, though, because in all of those, he's a hero.
Yeah, exactly.
And so we get to this point, this guy goes, what if he wasn't a hero? What if he's a mass murderer who realizes that he's a mass murderer? And I mean, they make that point very clear in the first 20 minutes of the movie.
I mean, even Disney did an animation of Robin Hood where there's a fox playing Robin Hood.
That's right. He was a foxy Robin Hood.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it was Foxy Marion.
You said that Robin Hood was a fox.
Well, I think Maid Marian was also a fox.
Maid Marian was also a fox.
Yeah. So, see?
Hey, you said she's foxy in a really weird way. You might like our Zootopia episode where we talk about Maid Marian.
Oh, I'll have to do that. Remember Robin Hood Men in Tights?
Yeah. Are we going to go through every Robin Hood in the history of the planet?
Just about.
We're not. We're done.
It was funny. I like.
We're men in tights. Tights. No, I never saw that.
Okay. And wasn't that the one where they said the walls have ears? You look at the wall and there's ears.
It sounds like that movie. Mel Brooks.
There's been all kinds of.
Okay.
And then
dear God.
even Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr.
Taylor
And-
Edgerton
Who? What?
played Robin Hood.
Oh, okay. But Frank Sinatra
One of
played,
those moments. Who's
Robin.
Taylor Egerton?
and that was a movie called Robin and the Seven Hoods. That was a funny movie. It was about gangsters, but it was funny. It was comedy.
Did you like the death of Robin Hood or not?
I thoroughly enjoyed the death of Robin Hood.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
You weren't bored ever?
No, not really. The
Well,
only
I
thing
wasn't really either because I just went to sleep.
Oh, that's what that snoring was.
It's a good movie. Don't get me wrong. It is a good movie, but I just I don't understand the draw of Robin Hood, except that I kind of figured out he wanted to take another, like you said, a character deconstruction. But so what?
And I'm a fan of Hugh Jackman, so I think the only thing
Hugh was great in it. He really was.
I think the only thing that I've seen him in that I really didn't care for was that TV show Laughlin.
That was great.
I just remember some singing in it, and he does sing good. He did that in that biopic about the guy who doesn't impersonate. What was it? The term they used for that he does as Neil Diamond?
It was a tribute.
And
Song Sung Blue.
yes, great movie.
It was a great movie.
And he did his own singing in it as Kate
He's
Hudson.
he's a song and dance guy.
Yeah.
So it's not really surprising.
But for some reason, I just didn't care for that short-lived TV series.
But you like the death of Robin Hood.
Yeah.
So in other words, you don't like happy stuff. You don't like gloomy stuff.
Well, it's like when he does Wolverine, there's a lot of death and destruction in that.
Yeah, but that's cool, death and destruction.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of Wolverine, I got back into the Marvel things. I finished Eternals finally. God, that movie drug on. And I didn't realize that, what's her name? Chloe
Zhao.
directed that. Why would they give her a superhero picture? Now, I got to ask Jeff, did you like Eternals?
I thought it looked nice.
Yeah, I'll give it that.
It says a lot that I don't remember anything that happened in it. So
Same here.
it was kind of like a nothing movie, but I think that's just because I wasn't aware of who the characters were in the comics. And also that film hasn't impacted the Marvel universe at all in any way. Just like many of the films from that phase of Marvel.
Yeah, I think you're right about not knowing the characters because I didn't know any of them. I mean, I knew Salma and I knew Angelina, but not by their characters. But it just was a very slow movie that I just didn't. And it did look great, but the action sequences didn't grab me or anything like that. So I moved on to the next one in line, which was Spider-Man: No Way Home. Now there's a different story. That was a pretty decent one with all the different Spider-Mans making an appearance.
And Willem Dafoe's so good in it.
Willem Dafoe is incredible in it. Yeah, he goes from Green Goblin to Green Mean Goblin.
It's scary.
Yeah, he really is in that. So that was very good. And then I watched last night Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which I hadn't seen. That is the Sam Raimi submission to the Marvel world. What'd you think about that, Jeff?
I didn't like it.
No?
Thought it was dumb.
Josh?
I enjoyed it for a lot of the aspects of it. I think it was one of those ones I enjoyed a lot of parts of it, more maybe than the sum.
Yeah.
But I did like a lot of parts of it. So
I have to agree with what Josh said.
Did you see it?
Yeah, a while ago. I probably saw it at. Maybe I'm confusing that with another one. Which is the one where you have an alternate Justice League?
that's that one. That's
all
that
get
one.
killed.
Yeah, that's that one.
Okay, yeah, then I saw that.
It's not Justice League, but they're the Illuminati.
It's like- yeah.
They're the Illuminati. Yeah.
Yeah, the Illuminati. I liked it too. because it's Sam Raimi, and he did some things in there that were visually stunning. I mean, there were a couple of scenes that were just Sam Raimi scenes. The one that sticks in my mind is when, and it's a silly scene, but it was important at the time. Doctor Strange is fixing his watch, and the camera's inside the watch. So he takes the crown off the watch and he removes the back, and you got the little gears ticking in front of his face as he's repairing the watch crystal. I thought, that's an amazing shot. Stick the camera in the watch. Who thinks of that, you know? It was more of a zombie movie, attack movie almost, than it was a superhero movie, though, because it was certainly scarier than most of the other Marvel movies. I haven't seen anything after that, so I don't know how it falls into the Marvel world. But now let me ask you about Doctor Strange. Benedict Cumberbatch is a Doctor Strange.
Cumberbatch.
Cumberbatch.
I knew I was going to say that. I knew I was going to say Cumberbatch. Unless he's wearing a tux, then it's Cumberbatch. But anyway, he plays that character with this physical style that's mysterious and full of mystique. But when he talks, it's like an average Joe. Yeah, he says, yeah, I'll do that. Or he calls people kids. I'll take care of it, kid. And then sometimes that threw me off a little bit, but I guess, is that the character? Is that how he is in the comics?
I'm not super familiar with his comics, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, he is the Sorcerer Supreme, so I think
He works at Taco Bell? I'm sorry. I apologize.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how he acts in the comics, to be honest. I imagine he's probably more straight-faced in the comics, taking his role as Sorcerer Supreme more seriously and kind of being aloof. He's already kind of aloof, which I like. And I think he's very arrogant in the Marvel, which it works for me as a character, but I think it's a little different from the comic depictions, from what I understand.
Yeah.
So
now, is there another Doctor Strange movie scheduled? Or I know he died in the Avengers War, didn't he? Or is it one that didn't?
No, I thought the only one that died, and that was Iron Man.
Well, there was more than
Spoilers.
one.
The
more than one.
Strange is still alive.
Okay.
yes.
I mean, he is strange.
What how far are you from Guardians 3?
Good question.
And have you seen Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
I've only seen the first two.
Oh.
So at this point I am at I watched Doctor Strange last night. I'm going to rewatch Thor: Love and Thunder, even though Jeff recommends I don't. Didn't you say it was the most boring one or something? Yeah.
No, that's Dark World.
Dark World's really
is the
boring.
boring one.
And this one's just kind of bad.
It's
But it's worthwhile to get, I think, for Christian Bale.
I'm going to rewatch
he's
it.
really
Maybe
his acting's good, at least, you know.
Yeah, I think I've maybe seen this more recently than I thought.
Okay.
Then I've got Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and then Guardians of the Galaxy.
All right. Yeah, good luck with that. All right.
Apparently, I don't have a great path. Is Guardians of the Galaxy the next good one?
I loved Guardians 3.
Yeah, I agree. That's the next good one. The next couple you got are...
Those are going to be tough.
I really want to like Ant-Man, but it hasn't hooked me yet.
Well, this next one ain't going to do it.
There is a third Doctor Strange movie. It's currently in development.
Okay, so
it says Benedict Cumberbatch is confirmed to return as the Sorcerer Supreme.
I knew I was going to say Cumberbund. It's like Parks and Community. How many times have I said I'm watching Parks and Community?
Kind of concerning at this point.
Parks and Recreation. Community is a different series.
They're contemporaries.
Yeah, they are. Same year they started. That surprised me. All right, time for this. Hi, I'm R. Scott Bolton. I write books. You should read them. rscottbolton.com.
And they're available on Amazon.com. And if you've got Amazon Prime, you're going to get free delivery. There's a plethora of books written by R. Scott Bolton. My favorite is Dead Dick, about a 1940s private detective, hence the term Dick, who has died, hence the word dead. The latest that's available is Bowling Bag in the Back Seat. Get these books, all 40,000 of them. Okay, there's not 40,000. Maybe 39,999. No, not that many.
No. There's 8.
There's 8. And they run the gambit from science fiction to fantasy to everyday cops and robbers to private detective. Not just the 1940s private detective, but present day. And also, one of the books, which again I really like, Dead Dick, has nuns with machine guns riding a Harley. Get these books. You'll enjoy them. Amazon.com, R. Scott Bolton Books. Get them.
rscottbolton.com. I do have a couple of news items here. I wish I could find this other one because oh, there it is right here. Dead Dick has been selected as the July Book of the Month for Goodreads.
Ooh.
Wow.
That's good news.
Good
So that hopefully that'll turn into something pretty cool. And also, I have something for you guys. Yes, it is your first draft copies of Second Shot.
Yay!
Josh, yours is at home.
Okay.
Thank you.
So that is Second Shot.
Looks like I'm going to have something to do.
No, you're too busy.
Oh, that's true.
Second Shot is the fourth in the series. Jeff, I'm sorry for the poor condition of your binder. It's the only one I could find. I had to scrape melted wax off it. But it's in a binder, what you want it to be. Second Shot is the fourth in the Brace Heller novel series, which is a local private detective. And you guys got it in your hot little hands right now. So, yes, sir.
Do I have to read Death in the Mogul before this? Because I have got it in the mail, but I'm in the middle of the Black Dahlia book.
You don't, but it would help.
Okay, so I'll stop reading that other book, which has been tough to get through, and then I'll read Death in the Mogul, and then I'll get to this one.
Which Black Dahlia book are you reading again? Who's the author?
It's the one it's called Black Dahlia Avenger by Steve Hodel, and it's talking about how he believes his dad is the Black Dahlia murderer and how it connects to other murders in LA at the time. It's really interesting. It's just very informational. I've been super busy at work, so I haven't had like a time to get through it much. But also there's a lot of stretches in certain things where it's like, he says some evidence and he's like, and this is why my dad did it because this, and this. And it's like, okay, well, you don't actually have access to this evidence because it's in LA, the LAPD lockup, which you don't have access to anymore. But so I guess it's just a lot of info dumping, and
So that makes it hard to read because you're just reading a textbook, basically.
yeah, so it's kind of like that, and I'm juggling with writing right now, so it's been a little difficult to get through.
There is
Pages, so.
on iHeartRadio, there's a podcast called Unresolved with Steve. Oh gosh, I can't remember what his last name is. But anyway, in one of the episodes, he's talking with, I think it's that guy you're talking about who wrote the book.
Mm-hmm.
And they talk about the Black Dahlia murder, who he believes it was his father. And I'm trying to find which season that was, which episode it was. And if I find, I'll let you guys know.
There is a podcast that's not put on by him, but put on by other members of the family called Root of Evil. It's about 8 episodes. It's really good. And they go into detail about it as well. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's who killed her, because they have some pretty
Compelling evidence.
Yeah, it's like it's pretty convincing and it makes sense. So that's why I picked up the book, is because I listened to that podcast. But there's multiple murders that this guy did, and so they're all, because I mean it's a whole cover up from the LAPD, because this guy was involved in lots of big names during that time. He had kind of like dirt on everybody. So that's why there's this cover up where they, if he goes down, half of LA,
We all go down. Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's just taking a little bit to get through. That's all.
I found it. It's episode 610, the Black Dahlia Anniversary.
And what is the name of the podcast again?
Unresolved with Steve Gregory. Now he's no longer connected with KFI 640 AM. but that's is when he was connected with them. That's when he was doing that podcast. But it is available on iHeartRadio.
I'm pretty sure I can't find it. All I can find is an episode, but there's something that Joseph Wambaugh, who I always bring up when it comes to cop novels and stuff like that, because nobody had access like that guy did, Joseph Wambaugh, and he knew what the cop life was like. But he does a story about that as well, which you should look up. Because he, like I said, he had access to things that other people didn't have access to. He was probably the greatest copywriter in the history of novelists. He's amazing. Just passed away recently. But anyway, that's it. So you guys have the first draft versions of Second Shot, a Brace Seller novel, in your hot little hands. And please make any corrections or suggestions you want, whether it's storyline. I changed a major character in the middle of it all, and it had jacked everything up. So anything you find that sounds weird, just let me know.
So I can write on this?
I want you to write on that, please.
So just mistakes or weird story
typos, weird story, things you question, anything odd, sentences you don't like, anything.
Okay.
So
the cars in
it? Yes. Not that they matter.
Oh.
Yeah, and Johnny, you need to do the same thing. You need to give me a red line copy this time, because your notes were almost useless last time.
Oh.
Because you have to understand, I'm changing it from 15 other people's perspective. And then John says, go to page 15. Well, page 15 is not page 15 anymore. It's page 13 or page 17. So I need the book back so I can, then you can have it back.
Oh, okay.
He likes to keep them all because
I do.
And Jeff, I have one more thing before we go.
Uh-oh.
This is where the show gets kind of weird, because these are gifts from Josh's wife.
Oh.
A collection of film books that she apparently wanted to get rid of. I think they were destined for Goodwill. And she goes, do you think Jeff would like those? I go, I think Jeff would like those. So
Okay, well, thank you.
that was a direct from Andrea. So let's look and see what's coming out next week. We're going to go see Supergirl on Monday. Welcome to come along, Josh. Call out sick for a couple hours.
Has there been a Superboy movie?
No.
'Cause I remember the comic books, Superboy,
Mhm.
and he had the dog in the comic books.
I remember the 90s one. He was all edgy, wore a leather jacket, had an earring.
Oh, I remember that. We have copies of that.
Yeah.
The comic out in the.
It was like who's the real Superman?
Yeah, I remember that. And the Jackass movie is in theaters right now. It's got like 85% good reviews, which swamps Supergirl. And it's a compilation as well as some new stuff as well. And it will be the final Jackass movie starring that particular group. But it just looks like a blast. I can't wait to see it. Here's the problem. The last movie out of the gate earned about $23 million in its opening weekend. They say this one's going to be between 10 and 12. Kind of sucks because the budget was only between 6 and 8. So they're going to make money anyway. So they're quite happy about that. And I was reading this article. This guy made a very salient point. He said, you can pick a Jackass movie and tie it in with whichever era it was released in, and that it's really part of American history. I thought, wow, I never thought Jackass was important, but that's kind of a good point. It's kind of a good point. This Friday opening up, we have Thrash. Anybody know anything about Thrash? A horror movie with Phoebe DeVincenzo?
No, I haven't heard of that one.
Is it the shark one?
I think it's a shark one, right?
Wait a second. Didn't that already air on?
I thought it did.
Yeah, I watched it. Maybe they've added more blood. Who knows? Mary Oliver, Saved by the Beauty of the World. Anybody? Great cast. Helen Bonham Carter and Steve Buscemi. Swallowtail and Dragonfly.
Wait a minute. Go back to that Mary Oliver one. Stephen Colbert. What kind of movie is this? Oh, it's a documentary type thing.
Oh, it's probably their voices then. We'll find out who Mary Oliver is. Is she that? No, never mind. I don't want to get into it. Winthrop, which is another horror movie with Carla Gugino.
Haven't heard anything.
Carla's in it. I'm there.
Wasn't she the one that was originally in Mandalorian and Disney fired her?
No.
No, that's Gina Carano.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Carla is from Sin City and other things. Oh, she was terrific in the Stephen King one. Tied to the Bed, Gerald's Game. God, she was good in that. And Young Washington, which is a religion-washed version of Young Washington. You know what? God saved him by not having to get shot, so he knew it was his destiny to save the world.
Look at the cast. For me, that is enough for me to want to go see this movie.
Well, you'll be going
It's got a
by
great
yourself.
cast.
I'm not into these kind of movies that talk about you're sanitized. That one's, and all the Jesus talk. Not for me. Sorry. Citizen Kane is having a 85th anniversary on July 5th. Everybody here seen Citizen Kane?
Oh yeah.
Years ago. You know what?
Nope.
That it.
I have only ever seen one Orson Welles movie, and that was the
The 1986 animated Transformers movie, his last role.
It was great in that.
No, I haven't seen that one either.
It's super good.
No, it was a movie. It was the last movie he was working on, and it
Was
was
it Charlton Heston in that?
no, it was like he never finished it, and then Netflix finished it a few years ago.
Oh, Scream 3.
No, it was like the wind,
In the Willows.
something like that. I don't know. It was such a boring movie, and I wanted to slit my wrists watching it. So I think that's what turned me off.
Maybe that was the title.
It was really just an excuse to put his young hot wife on screen for like 3 hours. But
And you know what? Back then he got away with it. He was kind of the for a while at least, he was kind of the Hemingway of the screen.
He will serve no wine before it's time.
The Other Side of the Wind, that's what it's called. That movie was not my favorite. I remember we reviewed that movie on the podcast back when it was called Second Run Reels. And I think that's what killed that iteration of
Okay, how would you finish a movie 48 years later? Huh. Citizen Kane is an amazing film, but once you've seen it, if anybody tells you about it, it will ruin it for you. So don't let anybody tell you about it.
Yeah, and just be an eye out. You should watch it just for some of the technical shots, or you don't know how he did it. Like,
Oh, I know.
to this day, some people are like, we don't know how he did that shot. It's pretty. I mean, just from that perspective alone,
Yeah.
it's worth watching.
Aliens.
Other Side of the Wind. It's available on Netflix.
I'm gonna have to watch it, Jeff. Sorry.
Okay.
So you'll see me here next week going, Jeff was right.
Or you're gonna kick me off the show. I don't know.
That ain't gonna happen. The following week we have Evil Dead Burn, which some of us here are looking forward to, some of us not so much, and a movie that's based on my new brand of cocktails, Mockbuster, because I can drink mocktails. Moana, the live action version. Would you ever name a movie The Hole? I think there's better names for a movie than The Hole.
I mean, some people might,
That's
but that's in John's side of the internet.
What?
anyway. That's what's coming
Out
up.
on the
Wait a minute.
whole-
Wasn't there a movie called Holes?
Yeah, it's a great movie.
It was a sequel to Hole.
Oh, Minions and Monsters.
Oh, I skipped that one,
Yeah.
They are advertising the heck out of that movie.
dude. And remember the bus in LA?
Yeah,
There was a bus in LA that wasn't a bus. It was just driving around with the advertisement, but it had 3D minions all over it. Like climbing out of the top, there's a statue of a minion coming out. It was pretty cool.
Well, it
But-
worked because my kid wanted to go see it. She asked me about it.
It's going to make so much money.
Wendy's is doing a Minions thing where you can get the little characters.
Any excuse to make smaller burgers. Oh, with this
I think
minion
we went and
burger.
saw Backrooms, and I think during the trailers there were 3 separate breaks for Minion, like little brief clips.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it was
It-
like the
yeah,
little
it-
guy was playing the next trailer or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah. that's happening more and more. They're starting to incorporate the people from a feature or an upcoming feature into those snack trailers and what have you.
I'll say I've never liked the Minions, but the one thing that really makes me laugh every time I see it is driving through LA and seeing that Minion peeking over the 101. And it's like, that's got to be like the eyes from the Great Gatsby for someone. You're just like staring at your apartment window and there's the god of the 101 right there staring at you. I just love it. It brings me such joy. So it makes all of this worth it for me just for that one little thing. And I hope they never get rid of it.
There used to be over here off of Telegraph and just that housing area just before Kimball. There was a fire hydrant that somebody painted to look just like one of the Minions. It's been repainted, but I was making a delivery one day and I drove by there and I saw that. I go, oh, I got to take pictures of that. It was just
that's fun.
Perfect.
I wonder if it was Disney that did it or just some fool out there. Hey, that looks like a Minion. Let's go paint it.
And it was there for the longest time. It's finally been repainted, but I thought it was cool.
So next week we'll talk about Supergirl and we'll and whatever else is coming out the following week. But we're at a hot streak right now. There's a lot of movies coming out that I want to see. So a lot of them I haven't heard of and a lot of horror movies. And the fun thing about horror movies these days is you're going, is this one going to be another big hit like Obsession? Is this one, even though Obsession is, you know what Obsession reminds me of? It reminds me of Night of the Living Dead. And this is why. It's a low budget horror movie that is so much more than a horror movie. You know, even in the early days, the first time you watch Night of the Living Dead, you realize that this movie is not only a horror movie, but it tells a bigger story about racism, about germs from space, all this stuff. And the characters interacting. It's like 12 Angry Men with zombies. And Obsession is the same kind of thing because it's this movie that starts out inexpensive and then it blows up because it's above genre performances, above genre acting, above genre direction. And I think that's cool. I think that's a fair comparison. And they both, I mean, Night of the Living Dead obviously made more than Obsession did, but we'll never know thanks to the mob. So
isn't there another, it's either a TV series or a movie coming out about very similar to the Pod People?
Well, they've remade that movie 4 times, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I saw something the other day. It was a clip of it. I can't remember if it was another movie or if it's a TV series. How they end up in a communal, like an old folks place. They started simulating people, and I can't remember.
Are you talking about The Burrows?
Actually, yeah, I think that's it.
It's a TV series that's on Netflix.
Okay.
It was very good. Very good. All right, folks, we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Give us a like or a subscription. It doesn't hurt you and it helps us. And if you were listening to this podcast at the gym and you're going, boy, I wish I could see what those guys look like, go to roughedge.tv. Of course, if you're watching this and wish you did know what we look like, you can just go to Rough Edge FM and take it from there. Josh, thanks for coming on this morning. It was good to have you.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you all.
Can I just say something, please?
Go ahead, John.
Hey, go to the GoFundMe page, First Run, donate, and buy our Joshua Bolton books. And go to the local theaters. And whatever.
I think this is a good time.
Brought to you by The Grape, Ventura County's premier jazz venue and cocktail lounge, located at 2733 East Main Street in Ventura. For menu and music schedule, visit them online at thegrape.club. This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.